Did you ever think about that? Whiskey as a her?
Yeah, I don't want him in my mouth, let's put it that way.
Hey guys, and welcome to chapter number 2 on the Malt Chronicles. We just like to knock them out one by one. Alright, so we're back, okay? And this time around, it wasn't actually my turn. It was this time this young gentleman's here turn. So, Vas?
So, as you can see on this mouse, there's no more wet milk, it's all dried up.
Yeah.
So it was time for real whiskey.
Okay.
There's no more playing around, now we are into deep waters. So I decided, actually there's a reason why I picked up this whiskey. Initially I wanted something else, but I'll get to that later on. So guys,
Please.
ready? Show us what's in this box. Ready?
Yeah,
Please.
I think I might have an inkling. Inkling.
Okay,
Yeah.
good inkling. Because this.
Hey, yes! Woo! Oh!
Aberlour Abuna.
Abuna.
Before we get into it, let's see what the guys said on the blind tasting.
I'm definitely getting like lovely elements of sort of caramelized brown sugar.
Yeah. Toffee caramel, sherry.
But then a little zest, just a little zest. Someone's just picked up a blood orange and just gone.
Wow. That's deep sherry.
Beautiful.
A lot of
Absolute.
character there.
I'm
talking about alcohol whiskey.
Yeah, that's the style of
whiskey.
whiskey I like.
It's so rich. You will taste the tannins in it.
It's almost like when you've overdone like a fudge.
I'd happily part with £60 to sit and drink this.
Okay, 60 pounds. I would happily pay around about £60 for this. Now, if we're talking like age,
16 years.
I think he's young. If his age stated, no more than 12.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I was on and on between 3.5 and 4 star, but I'm gonna go 4 star. I really enjoyed that dram.
I think I'm going to go around about 4 stars as well. 4 stars. 4 stars all around. Chin chin. Very,
Oh God, I want to see what's inside this box. Funny enough on the blind tasting.
I had an inkling.
Did you see how excited they were? Huh?
Super
Did you see how
excited.
excited they were?
Yeah.
Now, I just want to make one thing clear straight away.
Please.
As I've seen it on a lot of reviews on YouTube, and a lot of people are coming and saying, Aberlour.
Aberlour.
It's Aberlour.
It's Aberlour.
Please, it's Aberlour. It's the
Aberlour.
river of Lour and
Aberlour.
Spey. It's in the village of Aberlour. Imagine your name is John and people are calling you Jane.
That would tick me off.
Imagine you're from Hollywood and people are saying Hollywood. Because it's a lot of weed. Anyway, let me just show you this. Oh, she's a lovely bottle.
She is an absolute beaut. Absolute beaut.
It's, I mean, we don't really have to talk about it. It's a legend. It's the Michael Jackson of whiskies. It's the famous Aberlour cask strength. So this is straight from the barrel. 60.8% alcohol, natural color, and it's all sherry cask.
Wow.
Now, just to make it clear for you guys who are seeing this whiskey for the first time or you haven't tried it before, so you can understand. Imagine a slap on your face at minus 20 degrees outside in the snow. Imagine you are sipping on rocket fuel instead of drinking tea in the morning. Imagine a cactus up your kilt. Now this is Aberlour Abuna, which means origin.
AKA the sherry bomb.
The sherry bomb. Well,
Yeah.
we like to call very sherried whiskies sherry bombs. Now, before we talk about actual taste, I'm gonna give these guys a quick run through the history.
Please.
In 1974 was purchased by the big giant Pernod Ricard.
Pernod Ricard, yeah.
Which
that's right.
decided in 1975 to build another couple of stills, and this is where Abuna starts. When they were building that distillery, they found a time capsule. What? From 1898 when there was a fire, and in the time capsule there was a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
Now, what does a Scotsman do when he sees a bottle of whiskey?
He drinks it.
He drinks it.
He drinks it.
So the boys, the workers, they went on lunch, took the bottle with them, and they almost polished the whole thing. So that was just a bit left, and it was saved, which was then sent to the lab in Keith. And based on that whiskey, based on that style, they've created in 1997 Abuna. That's when it was released for the first time.
Beautiful.
Cool. Now, why sherry? Because I was thinking, why the original has to be sherry? If you look once again back in the 19th century, there was no first fill bourbon cask. So there was not that much American oak that you can use. Because there were no laws for Americans to use their barrels
over,
only once.
Yeah.
So a lot of the distilleries, they were using sherries, ports, madeiras, brandies, all types of wines from all over Europe.
So you're saying this is very traditional sort of tasting?
So this is how probably a Speyside whiskey, especially from Aberlour, would taste 100 and something years ago.
Wow.
It's layers, man. Come on, it's cask strength.
Layers,
you start with wood. It starts oaky. Then you go deep into spices. Then you go into fruits, blackcurrant, raisins, and then you get this whiskey punch. Yeah, you just get this. Get this straight knockdown. And you know what? You know how much I love this whiskey. He doesn't like cask strength whiskies.
I love a cask strength whiskey. If you know me, you'll know that I love a cask strength whiskey.
Now, another interesting thing, we actually went to the distillery.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did there, and we've dipped our noses into some of their barrels. We've tried some sherry casks, some 25 years old sherry cask whiskies, and honestly, those probably were one of the most interesting whiskies we've tried.
That bourbon. Do you know, we're talking about the sherry here, but that bourbon cask. Wow.
We'll attach some pictures into this video so you can see that.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Definitely. We've got some videos and stuff.
And I enjoyed the little blind tasting they gave us there as well. Yeah. Much like what we're doing right now.
That's actually
it was really cool. If you get a chance, go
amazing experience.
So if you are just getting into whiskies, if you are learning to, if you wanna just start loving whiskies, don't drink this. You're not gonna like it initially.
This is like you've passed and you've got the degree.
I didn't like it first time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he didn't like it.
I've tried it at Amazon. I didn't like it.
You did try it,
the first time I tried it, he brought me a small little dram of it, and I was like, "Oh, God, can I have another?"
I love this whiskey.
I was looking the other day, actually I haven't tried an Abuna for a long time, and I know Av is a big lover, so I went onto Amazon and I looked, because I know it's around 40-50 pounds, especially in Christmas times you can get it for 38 pounds.
Yeah, you get a good deal at Christmas.
I went on Amazon and I'm looking there and I see 79 pounds for an Abuna. I was like,
killed me.
I'm going on Whisky Exchange. 79 pounds for an Abuna. I'm going on Masters of Malt. 83 pounds for an Abuna. And I'm thinking, what a shed of bastards they are! What's wrong with these people? Then, with the magic of Google and some research, I've actually seen that all the prices around the world in Abuna
have gone up.
Are almost 30% up. Imagine 80 pounds, that's the same price as a Glendronach 18, which is non-chill filtered, it's minimum 18 years old. It's the same price as a Balvenie 15 single barrel, non-chill filtered. It's the same price of Macallan 3 years old, for Christ's sake.
But I think, didn't they talk about like the quality was different back in the day, and people were actually complaining about the quality though, weren't they?
And I can tell you about that as well. So initially the whiskey was announced to be 5 to 25 years old. So it's a blend of different ages, different cask. Well, you're both right in a way. But gradually, with time, it probably became less 25 and more of the young whiskies. And that's what made it a hit, a good quality for a good price. Now the quality is slowly going down and a lot of people are reviewing the whiskies and they're saying it's not the same. We are now at batch 62, this is batch 61, and I've managed, actually I have the price here, I've managed to pick it up in a local shop. They were still having it on an old price.
We love that shop.
$48.99. So probably these are the last bottles at this price. From now on, this baby is gonna cost a lot more. And I think that's because of the prices on sherry cask whiskies. There's not too much sherry that's been drank these days.
Start drinking more sherry.
The barrels are going up in price.
Yeah.
The demand on whiskies is growing, so probably the brand realized they don't make that much money on Abuna, setting it at this quality and price. So
I would say
now,
that's their most popular whiskey they got from the distillery, right?
If you think that, my God, what am I to do now? It's one of my favorites. Well, you don't have to just stick to Abuna. There's other good sherry cask whiskies. Like Tamdu, batch strength, it's all sherry. You have Glengoyne cask strength, all sherries, sherry cask season. Then you have Glendronach cask strength, and all these whiskies are priced around £50. So I think Aberlour soon, or the company behind Aberlour, they will realize that something is happening and they need to change it. It's either the price or who knows.
So, Dave, what do you think of like the actual taste and stuff? Like I know
I told you earlier in the blind tasting, it's so complex. It can't be that young because of it's got the.
I thought it was young.
It's too complex. But obviously, with it being a blend of young and old whiskey, you get that complexity with it. I love this whiskey. When it comes to scoring, it's going to be getting some good marks.
Talk about scoring. That's what we're about to do now. But before we do this little scoring, I know Vas has given us so much info and so many facts already, but we're at that time where we like to say, Vas, have you got any more facts?
Right, while you are doing your scoring, I'm going to actually tell you something. Talking about time capsules, as this was found in a time capsule, there's some of these things that you can find at distilleries. I think in 2015 there was a whiskey found that was 120 years old in a village in Scotland, and they keep it in a local museum. And now you have a Tormo distillery, which is in Speyside as well. In 1960 they put a time capsule with a bottle of Long John blended whiskey with some barrel staves, local samples of barley, local samples of water, a Playboy from that year. Joking, don't get too excited.
Playboy over here.
So that's due to being opened in 2060, when it's going to be 1 century. So if you're not busy that day, please save the day.
Yeah. Right. So let's get down to brass tacks, and we're going to start with the beard over here. Beard, did it make you flutter?
I told you, it made it. The beard right up. The beard went all the way up and just hit me in the face. So 4 stars earlier and 92 rating.
Wow.
It did well.
You know, I've talked day in, day out how much I love this whiskey, and that's why I gave it a solid 92 as well. Because I freaking adore this whiskey. It's tasty, it hits the palate, but it just keeps giving you more and more and more. Vas.
Huge fan, but not at that price.
Okay.
So,
and
I think the liquid is slowly changing. I'm gonna give it an 88, which is still a very good mark in my opinion. But I don't like the changes that are happening now. They scare me a bit.
Corporate.
Fair enough. It is very, 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 very corporate. So, guys, that was once again our story. Now we want to know your story. So please hit us up with a comment. What did you think about Buna? Buna's one of my favorites. Is it one of your favorites? Or you don't like it? Let us know. Hit us up with a comment. So guys, we're the Malt Chronicles.
Indeed we are.
And we're out. Boom. Boom!